I just watched Shenpai's video on Zenless Zone Zero, and can that game just come out already, please? But hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Modern Warfare 3. It's been a while since I played this. I can't remember the last time I made a video on this. It was a while ago, but yeah, I was playing the game earlier because I wanted to unlock the Moors sniper rifle from Advanced Warfare. They put it in the game at the beginning of this season, and I'm like almost there. You know, I have to play a little bit more, and then I'll be able to, you know, unlock it. Also, they put the bow in the game as well, but that's just an assault rifle. It's not that special. This is probably the thing that people were the most excited about. But yeah, I was just playing the game and leveling up a few of the guns that I still needed to do. Some of the DLC guns that they added. And I ended up unlocking the conversion kit for the, what is this gun called? For the Lockwood MK2. This is actually a Modern Warfare 2 gun that they gave it a aftermarket part in this game that basically turns it into the 1887s from Modern Warfare 2, and it also makes it akimbo, because of course it does. Yeah, these guns are super good. And they might be a bit overpowered, but I mean, I don't know how more or less effective they are compared to other annoying shotgun shit like the broadside and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been having a really fun time just running around with these guns. So yeah, I'll probably just use these the whole time while I try to get to the Moors. Speaking of the Zenless Zone Zero, I saw a leak on Twitter. I think it's been speculated that the game is going to come out at some point in July. I don't remember where I saw that or if there's any credence to that rumor, but man, that game looks really good. Like I said, I saw Shenpai's video that she put out recently, and something about the animation, everybody has pointed this out, and it's like probably the most striking thing about the game. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love these things. But yeah, something about the animations in that game it seems just really polished and well done. And there's a word, I'm trying to find the word to describe it. I guess like it's almost overly animated and it's like really bouncy. Oh my god. You know, I would argue that it's probably the most well animated game that they've put out so far, or I guess not put out because the game's not out yet, but God, I love these things. I think you can pre-register for, I don't know if it's going to be another test beta thing or whether it's going to be like the full game. I think it's going to be another test, but yeah, you can pre-register for it on their website. And I already did that because that game looks really cool, even though I'm not the biggest fan of gacha games. That game just seems the most fun in terms of gameplay a gacha game can be while also being a gacha game. I just look at people and they die. It's insane. You know, I was using these and I was using these slugs, and you can kill people from really far away with the slugs on this. It's kind of stupid. In the firing range, if both of your bullets land on the furthest target, it'll still kill them. It's a little bit silly, but yeah, then I switched to the just default ammo just to see how it performs, and it performs pretty much the same. I think these are a little bit more forgiving with the regular ammo because you can be slightly less accurate. Why is there player collision in this game? And the really annoying part about that is that if you force yourself through people, you can actually run through people, but I don't know why the game just isn't like that by default. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, that was a bit ambitious, I won't lie. But there's also that as well. I think I mentioned it the last time I talked about the game, but they added the, what is it called? The soul render? Literally a sword. Hold on, let me inspect the weapon before I get murdered. This, oh my, well, that worked out. This is really elaborate inspect animation, which is super cool. And it actually locks people into an animation, so you can even kill people through riot shields with this. With the sword. But yeah, I think that's going to come out at some point in July, if those rumors are true. Oh my god. And the Elden Ring DLC comes out in, I think, 40 days I saw on Twitter today. There's literally like accounts that are just a countdown for the DLC release. It's funny. And the final shape comes out in like, I don't remember. I think it's like, I don't remember when the season ends. I saw it earlier. I think it's like 30 days, 20 days, something like that. You know, I was going to mention Ghost of Tsushima also comes out soon, I think, on PC. But bringing that up, actually, talking about Sony, the whole Helldivers 2 shit happened while I wasn't uploading. And yeah, that was real interesting. It really gave the Helldivers community an IRL major order and broke Sony into submission, into revoking the mandatory PSN account shit. And you know, that surprisingly got reversed, but unfortunately there's still the fact that the game is delisted in all those countries that it was originally sold in, which the weirdest part is not even the fact that the account stuff was mandatory, or it was supposed to be, but the fact that if the account stuff was always meant to be mandatory, then why was the game sold in regions where you couldn't make a PSN account anyways in the first place? It just seems like really shady and potentially legally troubling. And you know, Steam had been accepting people's refund requests, because yeah, that sucks. The idea that you bought the game when PSN account was not mandatory, and then because the publisher of the game decides that, oh, it's gonna be mandatory now, teehee, that you could potentially have a piece of dead software that you can't even use whenever they decided to finally enforce that. But either way, that got reversed. So I think if you bought the game, you could still play it in those countries, but I don't think you can buy it, you know, like a new copy, because they delisted it in all those countries, which is super stupid. And this whole problem could have been avoided if they had enforced the having a PSN account off the rip, but they didn't, because the game was having, you know, all the launch issues with stability and whatnot. I love ragdolls. These guns are so good. I love these so much. I wonder how good these are in Warzone, because like I said, you could kill people from really far away if you use the slug rounds. Although long distance in Warzone is usually like assault rifle, LMG, or sniper rifle type distance, so I don't think you want to be gambling on hip fire slug shots from a shotgun. But oh my goodness, god, the small maps in this game are so chaotic. I love it. Just plug into this shit for hours and commence the brain rot. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, which is another PlayStation published game, or Sony published game, also has a PSN requirement, but it's only for the, if you want to do the online co-op stuff that the game has, which I didn't even know that game actually had it. But yeah, I don't think you have to make one if you just want to play the single player stuff. So I have 100 kills. Holy shit. I played a game earlier where I almost dropped 100 kills. I think I got like 96. I did not expect to get 100 kills in this game. Oh my god. Now I wonder if in the next game I'm going to get like eaten into submission into a bloody pulp, or whether the sheer power of these shotguns is going to alleviate that in any way. Yeah, I need 7 more tokens to get to the Moors. I don't think you can get like, you can't buy tier skips with COD points if you don't own the battle pass, which I did not realize. All right, well, everybody's voting for Das House, so I guess I'll vote for it too. But yeah, speaking of game companies making stupid fucking decisions, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know, Xbox closed down a bunch of Bethesda-owned studios recently. I think it was Tango Gameworks, Arcane Austin, and I'm forgetting the I think there's 2 smaller studios that were under the whole Bethesda branch. And you know, there's been tons of game studio closures and layoffs and everything since, feels like forever at this point, and it's awful every single time that it happens. But I feel like this one is like way more awful because of just all the different circumstances surrounding it. You know, talking about Tango Gameworks and Arcane Austin in particular. Now with Arcane, I believe there's Arcane Lion, and then there's Arcane Austin, and Arcane Austin, I believe, made Prey, the reboot or whatever you want to call it, and that game was super good. I haven't played it, but I bought it forever ago, because even though there are games that I don't play, I buy them because at some point the game was like so critically acclaimed that, yeah, I was like, I should buy this because I'll probably end up playing it at some point. So, you know, things like Dishonored and Prey, they helped make. People were confused because whether or not Arcane Lion or Austin made Dishonored, but I think it was clarified that Austin did most of the work on Dishonored, but Arcane Lion did the like art stuff and like art direction for Dishonored, which is also a super important part of that game. People were confused about who made what. And so, you know, we have Arcane Austin, who helped make critically acclaimed games, you know, Prey and Dishonored. And then we have Tango Gameworks, which not only is a Japanese studio, which Xbox is always blabbing about how they want you know, Japanese studios and Japanese games on Xbox, because, you know, if it wasn't abundantly clear, there aren't a ton of Japanese games that come out on Xbox. At least not until recently. And exclusive games are definitely even more rare. Yeah, I'm sure there are multiple examples throughout Xbox history and whatever, but the most recent one that comes to mind before this being Platinum Games and Scalebound and the whole fucking shit show that was. You know, Xbox is constantly struggling in its ineptitude to, you know, keep studios and, you know, put out games. And they're always talking about how they need like good console selling games. You know, I can't remember. What was the last like good exclusive game that Xbox put out? Halo Infinite is in a decent state now, but when it launched, it was definitely not. It was just definitely not. They have Forza, and I can't really think of anything else. There's Avowed, which is made by Obsidian, but I mean, let's hope that because the game doesn't sell Call of Duty numbers, you know, they don't shut down Obsidian as well. And I hate Team Deathmatch. The games last like 5 minutes. But yeah, it's a Japanese. It was Tango Gameworks, a Japanese studio that had a ton of, you know, like veteran developers there, you know, like Shinji Mikami, which if you don't know, made the original Resident Evil 4, which is like one of the most popular and well-selling video games of all time ever. And he left a while ago before they closed Tango Gameworks, but regardless, probably saw the writing on the wall and, you know, bailed before shit hit the fan. But my point is that Xbox is always out here talking about how they want, you know, good console exclusive games to, you know, for people to buy Xboxes and Game Pass subscriptions and everything. And then when they finally get a good studio that is making really good games, you know, Evil Within 2 was really good, and Hi-Fi Rush, which I haven't mentioned by name yet, but yeah, that was their most recent game, and was critically acclaimed. It won multiple awards and sold pretty well. I think it sold like 2 million copies, which for a game with no marketing, which is the idea that you wouldn't market a game like that is absurd. But, you know, even with a shadow dropped game with no marketing, you know, that game sold really well. And then we get to this point and they close all these studios, and it's like, what are you doing? And, you know, this has gotten the internet and, you know, the game developer space online angry and upset. And, you know, people are scared for their job security because, like, think about it. If you're a studio under Xbox/Microsoft and you're not making Call of Duty or Fallout or Skyrim, it's like, your game could be super good and sell really well and win multiple awards, and you could still get shut down. You know, people, you know, with Arcane Lion, or not Arcane, with Arcane Austin, they also helped make Redfall, or they made Redfall, which, you know, people can look at that and be like, oh, well, they made this game that did it horribly, which I'm pretty sure they didn't even want to make that game because they have no experience with live service. But Microsoft wanted them to make it anyway, so they made it. Also, there was supposed to be DLC for that game, but that's not coming out now. So what do people who bought like the season pass for that game, what happens with that? It's a shit show. I remember seeing this tweet online, and this pretty much perfectly sums up my thoughts about this entire situation, where one, you know, the idea, you can't imagine being a studio under Microsoft and being able to go into work with any kind of optimism or positive attitude towards whatever game that you're making, seeing as how this basically sends out the message that even if you do well as a developer under Microsoft, you could still get axed for literally no other reason than because you didn't sell a shit zillion bajillion copies. But also one that I saw was that this is probably the most negative sentiment surrounding Xbox that has been since the 2013 Xbox One reveal with the always online DRM and Kinect shit. If you were around for that and you were an Xbox person, one of the console reveals of all time is what I'll say about that. But yeah, there's also this really concerning thing with Hi-Fi Rush that I didn't even consider until I saw somebody talk about it, was that Hi-Fi Rush, it's like a character action game, like a DMC or a Bayonetta, but it's like also a rhythm game. It's super cool and it has this really like stylized, cel-shaded art style. It's awesome. But there is, you know, music in the game, and all the fighting and stuff is, you know, in sync with that music. And there are 2 music tracks in the game. One is original music from, you know, made by the developers, and the other soundtrack is licensed music. So, you know, it plays during, like, I'm assuming like set pieces and boss fights. And because the game has copyrighted music, eventually that license will expire because the studio is not going to exist by the time that license expires. You know, one would hope that somebody at Xbox would be able to go into the code of the game and update it to remove the licenses whenever they expire, or maybe they'll just pay for it again, who knows. But people are worried that whenever those licenses expires, they're just gonna delist the game because they can't be bothered to go through the effort of either redoing the license or updating the game to take it out. So yeah, there's also like game preservation issue with Hi-Fi Rush specifically, which sucks to even have to think about. So if you haven't bought Hi-Fi Rush, out of all the games, Prey, Dishonored, whatever, if you haven't bought Hi-Fi Rush, you should definitely buy it now if you get the chance, because there might come a day in the future where you might not be able to buy that game anymore. Oh my god, and there's also this really stupid, dumb interview with, was it the head of Xbox? Where basically the interviewer asked, they brought up the studio closures and, the negative feedback from people online and whatnot. And the head of Xbox, the first thing they did was like sigh as if they were like annoyed that that question was even being answered, or that question was even being asked. It's like, how tone deaf do you have to be to like do one of the most idiotic things in recent memory for your company, and all the backlash that you're getting and the negative public perception that this is causing, and the first thing you do on an interview addressing these things is like act like a fucking moron. It's stupid. But yeah, all that being said, at some point after this goes up, probably later in the day, I'll probably be streaming Hi-Fi Rush, because if there was any time to play the game, I figured it should be now. I've had the game for a while, but I just never took the time to start playing it. So I should probably buy The Evil Within 2 as well at some point. Although it's slightly different, because I've seen people play through the game and it looks really good, and it's like a huge improvement over the first game. But yeah, I've seen somebody play through the game already. But with Hi-Fi Rush, when I saw the game came out and it shadow dropped and everybody was super excited, it was like, oh wow, an Xbox game that's like really cool and good. Oh man, it'd be really cool if Xbox gave these people more money to make more games that did really well and were awesome. And then look where that brought us. But yeah, I remember seeing that game when it came out. I was watching somebody stream it, and I watched for like maybe an hour, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop watching this because I want to play this for myself, because this game is like that good that I want to save that experience for myself. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will be streaming later today at some point after this video goes up. So also, just random side note nobody asked for, I figured out how to fix the like really grainy, awful shadows that were in my game. And I know not everybody has this problem, but if you do, this might help. If you go to graphics and you go to quality, I believe it's going to be, yeah, down here in shadow and lighting, screen space shadows and screen space reflections. I turned both of them off. I'm not sure if I should just leave one off or on, but I turned both of them off just in case. But yeah, after I turned this off, all the like grainy shadows went away. It's still kind of there, but like it was definitely, the shadows were the most like not good looking part. It made the game look so ugly. So yeah, if you had that problem, there you go. Took me since Modern Warfare 2 came out, like 2 years, a year and a half for me to finally figure out how to fix that. But yeah, I'm rambling at this point. If you did enjoy this video and want to help support the channel, then leaving a like and subscribing would be very much appreciated. Anyways, I'm gonna go edit this video and then kind of draw while it renders or something. Anyways, later.